I just thought, let's find some specific examples and kind of talk about their like rise to this trendy space they're in. Like Tropicana cookies really caught the attention of a lot of folks. We can trace this like orange purple thing back to, I think, probably the most popular example I can think of is Crockett's purple tangy cut that was popular 20 years ago. Tangy, in many ways, or maybe in most ways, is where we get this orange scented terp, especially something so specific that even someone who isn't super familiar with cannabis can stick their nose in there and they're not going to be like, "Ooh, smells like weed." They're going to say, "Hey, oh, this smells like orange." Which is, I think, really fascinating that we can take this plant, make it smell like something else. Chocolate spearmint is such a fun example of that too. Now that it's spring and everybody's got these herbs growing in their gardens here in Portland, sticking your nose in something that looks like mint and it truly does smell like chocolate as well is like, whoa, okay, that'll raise an eyebrow. But anyway, I have this written down. Crockett's Purple Tangy is a Calio skunk hybrid, which is really what Tangy is. And so we get these skunky, sulfuric, likely thiols in the lineage of this strain. And then anyone who smelled Tangy or Purple Tangy or any of those older citrus leaning cuts, I feel like they didn't have a lot of that sour burnt match funk. It's a burnt match. Like some people kind of like that smell, myself included, right? That's sulfur dioxide. So we can get into that scent and go, okay, I can kind of appreciate that. That was missing from those previous renditions. But now when we're back with Tropicana cookies and we basically got Tangy by Girl Scout cookies. So now we've got this futury funk forward citrus, and then it does have that background that contributes to the funk of those thiols that we now know are likely sulfuric and present in things like onions and garlic. I think a lot of people will complain that Tropicana cookies or things like this tropical infusion I'm smoking now are kind of redundant compared to some of these older cuts that offered the same thing, but they're really ignoring all of the work that's been done from this one note, it smells like an orange, to, hey, now it's like a whole cologne of citrus and cedars and, like you were saying, grapefruits, and something that's more complex and definitely more interesting.
Yes. And the thing is, too, like you're saying, these are exotic scents, these are exotic flavors. So there's a difference between let's say a lemon OG, common, tastes like lemon, it's delicious, we love it, and exotics that are featuring tropical volatile sulfurs and or the stink side of it, which is the volatile sulfur compounds or thiols or the scatol and the indole, right? If we're getting into the burnt category and the stink category. And these are only found in exotics. They're not super common. So don't assume every citrus is going to be featuring that little special kick of Tropicana sulfurs. And part of the work of cannabis sommeliers and the work that we do is being able to identify the difference. That's what makes something a luxury product, not just a common run of the mill tomato,